Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. This is the launch of the 2022 Roundtable sessions. I am Sunita Rajakumar.
And I am Johan Raslan. We are your hosts for this afternoon and tomorrow morning.
It's so exciting to finally see the launch of the second year of the Roundtable sessions. So much work has gone on behind the scenes by dozens of professionals volunteering to make this happen. The climate emergency needs an all of government and whole of society approach. And we hope the Roundtable sessions will be the main platform for engagement where all stakeholders can respectfully dialogue on an informed basis about their concerns and solutions.
Why are we doing this? Sometimes we got to remind ourselves, and that video kind of brought it back to me. The climate crisis is an existential crisis of our generation. And, kind of tearing up sometimes. You see that what we're doing to our planet and ourselves. We are likely to be the last generation that can actually reduce the impact of the climate crisis, and also the first generation which has the knowledge and the means to make the transformation that's needed. And need I remind you, tomorrow, the closing day of this launch event is actually Earth Day.
And with CEO Action Network and Climate Governance Malaysia organizing these roundtables, this is arguably the largest mobilization of the private sector, with civil society also stepping up. We can collectively create an ecosystem to increase our climate resilience. So our collective efforts involving almost 100 people and thousands of hours of effort is our gift to Mother Earth.
Now, who can forget rather, November 2020, when Petronas became the first national oil company in the region to declare its net zero target. That was quite a bombshell at that time. Maybe a bit forgotten now, but very important. And we're delighted, therefore, to welcome a forward-looking leader, Datuk Tengku Taufik, Chairman of CEO Action Network, and also President and Group CEO of Petronas, to give us the opening remarks for this launch.
Respected CEOs, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to everyone. Thank you all for joining us here today at this final session of the CAN 2021 Roundtable Series. This Roundtable Series was convened over much of last year to deliberate on the topic of exploring low emissions pathways. This topic is crucial and timely, given the pressing climate crisis that is threatening humanity. Last year, the sixth assessment report by the Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change, or IPCC, strongly confirmed the established fact that emissions of greenhouse gases resulting from human activities have led to an increased frequency and/or intensity of some weather and climate extremes. Science is clear. Climate science tells us that we must drastically cut emissions by 2030 and stop deforestation to avert the worst effects of climate change. Doing nothing is not an option. Mitigating this crisis will take tangible and urgent action from all of us. Every segment of our society and economy will need to step up to meet the very real risks of climate change and capture the opportunities offered in the transition to a lower carbon economy. I strongly believe that businesses must play a critical role to shape and transform the existing value chain and ecosystem, anchoring on international standards and global best practices. Concurrently, the government's support by the way of progressive policies and forward-looking regulatory frameworks are crucial in advancing this journey. The whole of society and all of government approach advocated by CAN is a rallying call for stronger collaboration amongst all stakeholders to foster a conducive ecosystem that not only accelerates transition, but also drives climate actions in a just and equitable manner. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO Action Network, or CAN, was established as a closed-door, peer-to-peer informal network of CEOs representing 50 leading businesses from more than 20 critical sectors in Malaysia. It's a coalition of leaders with shared purpose and focus on sustainability advocacy, capacity building, action, and performance. Over the past year, CAN and Climate Governance Malaysia have jointly organized a series of roundtable engagements with key ministries within the government to discuss policies to strengthen our national climate ambition. Please allow me to extend my appreciation to Kementerian Alam Sekitar dan Air, or KASA, for enabling and launching this multi-stakeholder platform as the coordinating ministry for climate-related matters. These roundtables have strengthened public-private partnership in the journey towards developing a low-carbon emissions pathway for Malaysia, while ensuring this country's socio-economic well-being. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2021, CAN successfully delivered 14 multi-stakeholder roundtable sessions with more than 4,000 attendees to discuss the topic of exploring low emissions pathways, covering 4 industry clusters, namely energy and transport, property and construction, plantations, and telecommunications. Through this platform, CAN brought together a diverse business community to move towards stronger climate actions, as evident through the collective commitments gathered from more than 80% of members. CAN has also successfully rallied more than 500 participants from CAN member organizations to curate and deliver targeted learning modules on climate change, energy management, labor practices, and waste and water management as part of capability building of the business community. This commendable support and participation from the private sector is truly a sign of positive progress towards change. I'm also pleased to announce the delivery of a comprehensive report which consolidates the input and feedback from the industry leaders, non-government organizations, and government agencies gathered from the roundtable discussions. This approach complements and provides an avenue for the government to take cognizance of corporate Malaysia's perspectives and on-the-ground efforts on climate actions towards a lower carbon economy. We hope that this report will deliver valuable insights as we continue to work together to shape an ecosystem that promotes business resilience, a lower carbon economy, and long-term sustainability. These achievements are only possible thanks to the spirit of collaboration demonstrated by the many responsible members of the private sector who have stepped up on a voluntary basis to facilitate these engagements. My gratitude also goes to our trading partners who may not be represented in the roundtables, but have been very supportive in the sustainability journey. Finally, thank you to the members of CAN for their commitment and willingness to engage in meaningful conversation, which has been captured in the report launched today. While we mark the finale for the CAN Roundtable Series for 2021, our work is far from done. Rather, this signifies the beginning of more robust and focused discussions to take place in 2022. We have a pipeline of roundtables planned to deep dive into the thematic topics with the aim of unearthing actionable insights and feasible solutions that can accelerate the pace of transition into a lower carbon economy. The themes we plan to cover in 2022 include, among others, waste and circularity, carbon sinks and biodiversity, open data, and youth. Another focus for 2022 will be to build the capabilities and readiness of SMEs to transition to a lower carbon economy. This will be done through peer sharing and learning modules towards shaping sustainable SMEs in the supply chain. This is an important step as a transition into a lower carbon economy will only succeed if the entire value chain transitions as well. I hope that you find these sneak peeks into what we have in store for the year intriguing and exciting, and that these inspire you to seize the opportunity to be part of this platform. Together, I'm confident that our collective voices and rich exchange of ideas and insights will be able to influence, drive and put forward credible solutions for climate action towards long-term prosperity and sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Yang Mulia. Ladies and gentlemen, Tengku Taufik has been an inspiring chairman of CEO Action Network. He always said, the emphasis must be on action and not just on talk. And that kind of goes against the grain, as you can imagine sometimes. What also goes against the grain is actually CEOs who normally compete cooperating. And that is truly a departure. And not only that, but in these roundtables, you've had corporates communicating and talking with NGOs. Normally people who don't normally like to sit in the same room have done so for the greater good. And I think this is excellent. So thank you, Tengku Taufik. And as we go forward, CEO Action Network and CGM are looking forward to generating more impact with the collective commitments that each of the so far 56 CEOs and growing need to pledge. The collective commitments cover ESG, and the ambitions of the member CEOs demonstrate their understanding that this is the direction of the future, and it's investment that must be made and which will give them actually competitive advantage.